British are coming! The British are coming! Welcome to Elle's Nails, where it doesn't take $1,000,000 for your nails to look like $1,000,000. This week's nail theme is TV/movies. And so I went, because Independence Day is coming up soon, with The Patriot. And so we have the original kind of American flag on our right hand, because the right hand is always the right. Always the best hand. Always the winner, unless you're left-handed. And then we have the British flag. Well, actually, yeah, the British flag, the Union Jack, on my left hand. I also have the Union Jack on my left hand because I had to completely freehand it, and so it's harder to do. So I needed to use my good hand on that. All right, so this one's probably going to be a little long. So let's get started. We got 2 different looks to do. As you can see, I only have 5 stars on my flag, not 13, but you get the idea. So I have blue on my right hand for the Union Jack and white on my left hand for the original American flag. I have to have the white completely dry in order to do the flag. So you don't have to wait for it to be completely dry on the Union Jack since it's freehand, but why wait? Why just do one hand? So these have been completely dry, and I'm using the same nail polish as last week. I have my Broadway Gel collection in red, white, and blue. Where's the white? Here's the white. On top of that, I also have a Broadway striping polish, which has come in nice and handy because my Broadway Gel white polish is very thick. Despite my, I've put like 30 drops of nail thinner in there. But it keeps thickening up. That's kind of the way of it. It's always been thick, even when I bought it, which is really great because it's doesn't take that many coats, but it is a little chunky after a while. So I'm using the striping brush or striping polish. I also have a dotting tool. This is my small fine print dotting tool for the dots on the flag. And I also have one of my striping brushes for the red in the Union Jacks. And I also have some nail tape, and I don't see the roll. I have it all cut up put on the lid of a bottle. So it's all cut up and ready to go. So let's get started with that. This might take a while. It's kind of tricky, especially since it's on my right hand, and so I'm not using my good hand to stick things on. So to start off with, I am putting a piece of striping tape. And you can cut Scotch tape to do this if you don't have any, but it wouldn't be as even, I don't think. So I'm going to put a piece of striping tape right down the middle of my nail. That's my center, so that I know where the blue will go. And then I'm going to take another piece, and I don't know if I can get a good angle at this. Let me see if I can do this. We're gonna take and put that about halfway down, a little less than halfway, like 1 and stick it like that. Focus. There we go. And of course you want to leave a gap there about the thickness of the striping tape for your red line. And we want to make this next one even with the first one. Once you get these two in there, the other ones are pretty easy. And there we go. That's not too bad. Alright, now I'm going to put 2 more on the opposite side, maybe 3. And there we go. Stick that down. Now, this is the reason why you need to have your nail completely dry before you do this. Otherwise, your when you pull the stuff off, it's going to not come off right. I'm going to pause the camera for a second because I do see that some of my stripes are not even, but I'm going to do that off camera, so I'll be right back. Alright, now that's a little better. So next I'm just going to take my red and blue polish and open them up for you. My blue polish is not completely opaque in one coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blue first, and very carefully I'm going to paint a square, or a rectangle really, on my nail just at the tip here. So it stops where those 2 stripes start. So this does take a little freehand. Now, when you're doing this, I did each nail individually, and then I moved on to the next one. I never did them all one nail polish color and then all the other. Now, next I'm going to paint on the red here, and I want to be very careful not to mix my blue down at the end here, or else I'm going to have some purple on my nail, which we can fix, but we want to try to avoid that. Alright, now I'm going to add a second coat of blue. Oopsie, I think I'm going to end up with purple. Alright, now before everything dries, I'm going to pull this off. I think we might be okay. Sorry. One stripe won't come off. There we go. Ah, that's okay. We'll fix that when we work on our Union Jack. All right. So let's work on our Union Jack while we let that dry a minute. So I'm going to take the striping polish, and we are going to paint an X. So start at the corner on one side. This is a very nice striping brush. And curl around. I am actually curling my finger more than I'm moving the brush itself. Makes for an even line. Get some more polish and repeat that the opposite direction. Now I actually want this to be a little thicker, so I'm going to add a little bit more thickness to this. But it's better to go less first and then add more than to go too far and then not be able to do it. There we go. Very nice. Now, before we do the other half, we actually are going to do some red next. So I'm going to take my Broadway Gel Red and put some on my handy dandy silicone mat. I need a fair amount on this one. And then I'm going to take my striping brush, and before I start on this side, thin that out so it's nice. I'm going to fix my nail on this side. So we don't want purple. And I'll probably come back in with the striping brush on that here in a minute. So now we're just going to do another X on our nail, but we want it inside the white, so it's going to be fairly thin. That's why we're using the striping brush. It's a thinner brush. This is my thinnest striping brush. So it's basically the same process as you're doing with the white. All right, there we go. I cleaned off my striping brush there too. Now I'm going to take the white striping polish again, and while I'm at it, I'm going to fix my flag yet again. Sometimes I wonder if I should just freehand the whole thing, but at least the tape gives me a good outline. Okay. All right, now back over to the Union Jack. Now we're going to put a cross. This is the English cross. And it should be a little bit thicker than the red, or than the white on the X. But we aren't being picky. After all, this is a fingernail, and you can't get perfect on a fingernail. That's a lot of polish. Don't worry, we're going to use this white that I'm dropping on here in a minute. Don't worry if it smears a little bit and you have a little bit of red, because you're going to put red on it anyways, so. There we go. Now I'm going to add some red polish, because that polish that's on the silicone mat is probably pretty chunky right now. And we are going to draw another stripe. In the middle of the white. I will say that when I did the Union Jacks, I didn't do them all at once. I did the crosses, and then the red, and then the X's, and then the red. Because you do actually, preferably, want the colors to dry a little bit in between. Otherwise, the colors might pick up, which I don't know if you've seen it, but there is a little bit coming through. So there we go. Now we have the Union Jack. Because the British are coming. I actually was thinking about using this as my childhood color because I was born in England. As you can tell, I didn't live there long because I have no accent. But I didn't think I could freehand it very well. So hopefully you liked my freehand look. Sorry. I'm not on camera, am I? Okay, so let's finish off this look by putting on our stars. I'm going to add a little bit more white. I like this polish is a little bit, it's thick, but also runny. So I like that. Alright, so now I'm going to use my dotting tool. And just because my hands are a little shaky. there's our stars. Not the best stars, but the message is there. Alright, so I'm going to finish that off with a quick dry top coat. I am using the Broadway Gel Quick Dry Top Coat that came with my gel polish. It does smear a bit, but for this it doesn't matter as much. And then just clean up around the edges and you're done. So that's it for this time. Next week on the 4th of July, our theme is unused plate. So I'll have another patriotic look for then. We'll see you then.